So come on in, take a sip, and let's wind down on the Sunday crossword. New York Times, there's something so steady about it. And when I got up this morning, as you can see, I woke up to inches upon inches upon inches of snow here in northern Bavaria. I was like, oh, wow, it's been messing around with it for a couple of days. Little snow here, a little sleet there, but today it's falling, and it's still falling. And what's interesting is I just poured this drink, and with what little daylight we have left for the day, we've got like maybe an hour of daylight left, but with all that snow out there, it's just bright white. And I said to myself, I want something kind of fun and fruity, slightly sweet, but not too sweet. And I decided to make a Saint Germain cocktail, but with my own spin on it. So I used some champagne, some Saint Germain, and then instead of a twist of lemon, I like to add the bitter lemon. It's the Schweppes zero sugar, zero carb. It's a fantastic little treat, and it is absolutely delicious. So if you have any Brut, Prosecco, champagne, anything laying around the house, and you got that old bottle of a Saint Germain sitting in your cabinet or just looking pretty over in the liquor cabinet or something like that, because it is a gorgeous bottle, then give it a shot, give it a try. It is absolutely fantastic. With or without the bitter lemon, it's up to you. Twist of lemon or even some lemon juice, super, right? But it sure is fresh, and it sure is a nice pick-me-up. Just refreshing, right? With that said, let's hop into our grid and see what we got today. Okay, so we got a Kareem Ayas construction edited by Will Shorts. So good to say that. So good to have that come out of my mouth. Okay, making sure we got everything's going good. Fantastic. So, wow, this is a big grid, and we've got 3 circles. 2 of them appear to be gray, and one's kind of a brownish, orangey, red, orange, brown. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll figure out what we got when we get there. Let's see. Okay, so like most Iraqis, turmoil. And with 4 letters, we're probably talking Arab or Shia, and I can't think of anything else, and I don't know, so let's see what we've got here. They might be sewn in at a beauty parlor, and I think those are extensions, but classic Chevys. Okay, so if that was an Arab, I can't think of a classic Chevy with an A. If it were an I, we could probably fit Impalas in there. Donkey Kong as an example. So I think we're probably talking an ape here, and maybe Shia here. I'm going to go with the Impalas because it just seems the most likely at this point, but if I'm wrong, please don't make fun. I'm doing the best I can here. Pack down could be to temp. And this looks like we might have hair in here. Perfect for a salad. Turmoil could be strife. So was deeply affected by something. No longer in service. Emotional strains. Okay. Okay. Some chords. Well, I mean, this could be felt it, maybe. And some chords, well, probably the most common chords played, triads, where we'll do a quick check. Last word of the New Testament, fittingly, amen, very nice. Live interview, shout out. Prefix with centric. Oh, it could be so many things. I'm trying to play it a little safe because, Sundays, not typical Sundays anymore. I've always got crazy stuff going on in them now, these, and I like that. But I don't know. Compartmentalize. like some picture frames, goes higher at an auction. Landmark featured in Roman Holiday. Well, how many were there? I mean, there's a ton of them in Roman Holiday. Swear. Okay, that's not going to give us anything either because we could fit a vowel or a ver in there. Quintet of experts on Queer Eye familiarly, and I think that's the Fab Five, and to which extent? Oh, wow. Okay, prefix eccentric again, end of fall. See if we can get a little bit of bait over here. Part of a fishing line to which a hook is attached. And finally, we've got some absolute vocabulary from the ether, right? You know, Snail goes right there along with, you know, a thole on a boat or an aglet on the end of your shoe lace, right? So late actress Garvey Terry, and I hate that she's gone. I was so in love with her when I was like 8. I know. Part of a modern assembly line could be a robot arm. I designed a logo once with that. Prominent instrument in Seal's Kiss from a Rose. And Sunny shares I Got You, Babe. That's an oboe. Very clever. I'm liking it. Right, Kareem Ayas. Reveals everything. Okay. I'm just going to assume this could be bears at all. And we can promptly get to checking ourselves, right? You know, leave rolling in the aisles could be to slay. And time for some of this refreshing pick-me-up. It is a yummy cocktail. It really is. You should give it a try. So in North Carolina, campus town, all I know is from Crosswords. I've never been there. I've been to North Carolina, but I don't think I've been to Elon? I don't know. Some works of Pablo Neruda, and those would be odes. Hot damn. Jason of Aquaman, Momoa. Plains Tribe looks like the Oto, so skewer could be to impale. That sounds awful. Sign on a tray at a cash register or a hint to entering 32 across. Okay, so maybe that brownish whatever is actually supposed to be copper, and maybe that's a penny up there, and I guess these others could be quarters or something, or dimes, nickels, I'm not sure, $50. I mean, unless we're talking euro coins, but we've got the word penny in here, and the British use penny, and I'm overthinking this, I know, but I know the sign at the cash register, that was, when I was a kid, it said, have a penny, or need a penny, take one, have a penny, leave one. And I guess this is not going to be the same, so I'm not sure where this is going. Many moons could be eons or ages, and I don't know. Antlered animal, 3 letters, going with elk on this one. And you don't want to confuse antlers with horns. As I was once told as a child. Bit of plankton could be algae. So many moons, I guess we've got ages here, which is fun. So is this leave a penny then? Throughway advisory, landscapers roll out sod. Revealing word, how about ta-da? So throughway advisory could be a slow. Away from work for short, that's an out of office. Weird Al Yankovic's parody of the song Lola, and that was Yoda. I loved his work when I was a kid. So yeah, this must be like leave a penny. And let's get back down here and see if we can finish up this piece. Maybe get back up to the top to do that. Little suck up could be a vac. Band with a 2001 hit, How You Remind Me, and that's Nickelback. So, and that's a band the whole family likes, right? Washington Airport informally, and I think that's SeaTac. I gotta tell you, one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my life, you know, was in the Pacific Northwest. I was stationed there for a while. I went to go visit our kids. I mean, it was just beautiful. 1980s Chrysler debut is a K car. What I think is so funny about this day, Lee Iacocca was a bit of a genius at the time. I think Chrysler was really struggling back then, and so they came up with this square, boxy little car, and they called it a K car. But then they cut the top off of that K car, and they called it Le Baron, the LeBaron, and it just was a wild seller. It really went well. I could get used to these. Okay, structure for a shark dive. I guess we're talking about getting in a cage and still cheating death, in my opinion. European capital said to be the site of the first decorated Christmas tree. We have a community member over on TikTok, and she promised to teach me Latvian at some point. But I've got to go visit Riga, and I've just got to get around that whole area of the world, really, to be honest with you. Bickering could be at it. The Flash's civilian identity, Blank Allen, and I'm assuming this may be a Barry. We'll check ourselves, but I didn't know that. I don't know anything about the Flash, so it's kind of cool. Again, learning from the grid. Mercilessly harsh treatment in an expression or a hint to entering 117 across. And I mean, I'm going to go with the harsh treatment, and that we will show you no quota. Awful thing. Vice President with a Nobel Peace Prize, and I think that is Al Gore. Storing as some ashes. Oh, okay, well, that's sad. So not straight in a way. Looks like it's going to be curly. One working the night shift. And we notice the K for night. So clearly this must be, with this QU, a squire, a young knight in training. Queen's Realm. Are we talking about the rock group? Because that would certainly work. Typical features of locker rooms. That's true. Gross. I'm going to go with rock, arena rock specifically, I think we would say. Musician once nicknamed the Beale Street Blues Boy, and that would be B.B. King. And that beautiful, what was that? I mean, he had was it a Les Paul, or I can't remember, but he had a guitar and he named it Lucille. It was just gorgeous. Seemed like maybe one of the Gibson models, the Epiphone, or maybe it's just the Les Paul. I can't remember what it was, but it was a beautiful guitar. I'd give anything to have one. 1 of 10 on each end of a beer pong table. I guess we're talking cups. Vet's concern. Harsh reading. How about the riot act? So I guess the vet's concern is PTSD, and it's a very real thing. If you've been to combat or just anything kind of crazy, even if it was not in combat, I can totally see that. From car accidents to just horrible situations. Oh. School with the Daily Bruin newspaper. Well, that kind of tells me UCLA, right? So pacify could be to calm. We don't have a rollover, lay down, and just sleep through solve today. This is not an easy one, but it's not terribly difficult. But I'm not sure what to make of these circles yet. So registers in roles. I'm just saying, so far, all I can say is Kareem Ayas. This is a fantastic Sunday grid. A little one could be a tot. Start to boil, get mad. Let's get up here and see if we can get this cleaned up a bit. Privy to could be in on. Non-verbal okay could be a nod. Brain piece. What do you think? A lobe? Part of overalls, I guess the bib. Effect. Oh gosh. Maybe an impact? I don't know. Pivot without warning or a hint to entering 19 across. Okay, these are starting to stack up on us here a bit here. Parisian eatery, going with a bistro here. Did you hear that, Bob? I'm going for the bistro. Mentee, is this a P? TikTok for one. Yeah, it could be an app. So I'm going to go with protege. And memory unit could be a byte. Headshot purchase. Bonkers for the bongos. All right. Busy one, maybe a B. Let's check ourselves here. Nice going could be an attaboy. Effect. Yeah, I think we got impact on this one. So, okay. So what we got here? A quarter. No quarter. Percent. Fantastic. Got it. Okay. Put off. Perhaps deter. And so this must be pivot without warning. Maybe turn on a dime. And again, I just don't feel comfortable with just anything except for maybe BB King so far. And Snail. Those are the two that I feel like, oh, yeah. I think Riga maybe falls in there too. Fruit pastries, I mean, tarts. Some bank deposits. Oh. Ugh. Mena of the American Pie films. I have no idea. I've never seen the movie. I don't know anybody. I don't even know. Gin or Gin. Okay. Well, homophones. But so we've got a liquor and we've got a genie. Oh, spirit. Okay. Just takes me a minute. Just a minute. Just a second. So I have no idea who that is. So pilot could be to aviate. And tough guy title role with an R. And we've only got 5 letters. Going with Rambo. And we'll see if we can do our checks here. And again, have no idea. Part of a bridal gown. I guess this would be the train. And man, I really hate that I don't know that. Elemental could be primal. Pretty soon could be in a bit. Oxygen atoms have 8 protons, so I guess we're talking. Well, it could be salts in a way, but I'm gonna go with silts. I don't know. Is the point? Oh, what? If I get hung up, I know that's where I need to go back to, unless I fat fingered something somewhere else. So smartphone precursors for short, and those would be personal digital assistants. I had a Palm Pilot. I had the very first one. It was basically green and black. There was no anything to it. And then I got a color one, and then Microsoft came out with one, and it was really thick and whatever. I mean, I had several PDAs, but I had to tell you, man, when the iPod came out, I was excited about that. But when we finally got the iPhone, for me, the iPhone craze ended with BlackBerry. I loved having those keys to press on, and I could type out something, with actual typing spaces there in the keys. I loved that, right? Versus on the screen. And oh boy, when I finally converted over to an iPhone around 2012, it was the hardest thing. You think I'd be on them from day one, since I am a Mac guy. Everything in this house is Macintosh, right? With the exception of my Google TV, but 4 Google TVs. Gordimer, who wrote The Conservationist, and I think that's Nadine. If you had a Palm Pilot, I'd like to know. Please let me know. Cultural meeting place. I think they're shooting for an art salon here. Rejections. I mean, nose? That's weird. I don't know how I feel about that, but I really think this is the penny thing, and that's... Gotta really watch that one there. Non grata. That's one thing I've never been accused of. I've never been accused of being persona non grata. I'm pretty proud of that. Even after several evenings with friends in rare form, I'd be drinking a bit too much, a little bit too much of that Solver's Courage. So we got BTS in here. What is that? No, I said grata. This is how it happens. This is how I wind up fat fingering stuff. So I think we're talking about the Tate Modern in Londres. I love the French pronunciation of London, Londres. I think I like the French pronunciation of everything, though. Edinburgh, the Edinburgh. Oh, it's beautiful. So I think this might be a take a penny. Leave a penny. I've never seen that actual variant, but I'm sure it's everywhere. Way off could be afar. Coffee named for the district it's grown in. This is good. Could have been a lot of things, but I'm going to go with Kona on this one. Like Sherlock Holmes game, and I guess this would be afoot. And many, many moons. Wow! Hey, we got eons anyway, didn't we? So this must be a tanning bed and Italian motorcycle brand. Oh, God, yeah. I had a friend, and it wasn't even a friend. It's just this guy we knew in college. He kind of hung out with all of us over in the theater and in the English major department. We all kind of hung out. And, smoking cigarettes and drinking espressos and, talking about what it will be like to have money one day. And biblical inspiration for Caleb, East of Eden. Okay, got it. So I think this is Cain. But it was very interesting. We had this one guy that just kind of hung out there. We don't really know who he was, but and it didn't matter. I went to school in Texas. It was hot, 8-9 months out of the year. And he was always wearing that Ducati motorcycle jacket. And he had a Ducati, and he had money, apparently, because he didn't buy these bikes without him. But he was always in that bike jacket, kind of hanging out and going, yeah, I'm cool. Kind of the funniest thing, right, Insta alternative could be Snapchat. So, love all essentially sounds like tennis to me. Sounds like a tie. One of the Wilsons of Heart. And I would argue probably the most popular, the most famous. This is looking like we're going to be looking at maybe the Trevi Fountain, but I don't know. Lon Chaney. Okay, got it. Now we're going to have to start dealing with this, with these coins apparently, right? And the title of the grid is All Things Change. So, prefix with centric. So I think this may be fountain. So I'm putting an O here. If I have an O. Oh, live interview shout out. This was a big thing. I don't know. Is it still a big thing? Where everybody gets on TV and they say, "Hi, Mom." Speaking of that, I guess I could say hi to mine. "Hello, Mutti." This is funny. So emotional strains could be tensions and hair extensions. Okay, so no longer in service, maybe ex-army. And I think we might have cracked some of this code. I think we got to go up here and put a 10 in here. And, oh gosh, I don't want to move the grid around. I don't want to mess anything up. Hair extensions. Okay, that's pretty clever. Hair extensions. Very nice. All right, get back out of there. Leave it alone. Okay, so heliocentric, which was a step up from geocentrism, unless that's become a thing now. People believe that we're actually the center of the universe. That's possible. I don't know what. End of fall, maybe a safety net. That's clever too. So, quintet of experts on Queer Eye. Those are the Fab Five. So I think we have 10 up there, and we're going to have 5 in this one. But what that does to fountain, if it is the fountain, compartmentalized. We've got that S, like some picture frames, oval. Isn't it interesting? Way back in the day, a lot of them were oval. So we got a ver or a vowel goes higher at an auction. Maybe rebids? If that's a rebids, this could be to sort. I almost feel like compartmentalization is almost like storing, putting it away, filing it away, right? Something like that. So we're going to go with this, and this would be... All right, so clearly we've got Trevi Fountain here. This is the Fab Five, and I'm not sure how 5 is going to work in here, but we're going to carefully... this is what I'm talking about. Every time you have to do messing around, then you wind up... So put in a 5. I feel like this one's just going to be really complicated, and I'm going to hate having to reveal if I have to. Okay, increases. All right, onion or garlic. Here we go. I'm back in the grid, so make sure I'm in the grid. Onion or garlic, I think maybe bulbs. Increases, maybe ups. Baby in a cave. Protagonist of Arabian folk tales. Probably Ali Baba. But I'm wondering if it couldn't be Aladdin. I don't know. Is Aladdin really a folk tale, or is it just something created by Disney? I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. Past with flying colors could be ace. Aced in past tense. Agonizing occurrences in online games, and these are almost always going to be lags. It's been my experience. Bit of text pontification would be, in my opinion, maybe. Vanity Fair. Fair? How about an ego trip? Clever. Beautifully done. Kareem Ayas. Fantastic. I have really been enjoying this today. So I think we got a bat pup here. And let's go ahead and get up here. We'll go ahead and put in Alibaba. Potentially lethal snake. I had a long conversation on my first deployment to Iraq with my interpreter. I was a second lieutenant, and I had this, or as our British audience might say, second lieutenant. But I had an interpreter that went on missions with me every day, and I love the guy to death. He loved Kenny Rogers. His name was Paul. He went by Paul, and he loved Kenny Rogers, and he'd gone to West Point in like the early 1980s when we were still friends with Iraq, and it was just a crazy thing. But the guy spoke really good English, and he was a really valuable interpreter. I mean, he was a lieutenant colonel in the Iraqi army. He was a pilot, and when we got there, Camaro's race, right? So let's put that in there. Sound of a spring. Boing. But we had a conversation one time. I mean, we were just sitting around having tea at the end of a mission. We were just sitting in a little area there on the fob, and we talked probably for hours about Alibaba. It was such a cool thing. Spreads could be arrays. Common sales promotion. This sounds like a buy one get one free, but I'm not sure what we're doing here. So 2024 Shakira single. I mean, isn't this like a entre parentheses? I don't know. I got to get more familiar with her music. Second strings, maybe B teams. I don't know. Characters from Homer and Herodotus. I mean, they're sitting right there, kind of at the front. Capital. We'll go with ETs, ETAs, ETAs. Oh, no, get that done. So, buy, get one free. I think that's the penny. So it's one. We've got a dime up there. We turned on a dime down at 101. Got to figure out what's going on with Trevi Fountain, but we'll get to that in a second. Buy, get, maybe then free. And before I mess with that rebus, because I don't know for sure. Okay, this could be and or slash. So some multi-masted ships. Can't think of anything with an A, but I can think of an S. And if that's a 1 down there, then maybe these are looking for schooners. So again, very carefully, don't want to upset anything. 1. All right, now back away. All right. Now, so I can figure out what this song is. Made less effective in gamer slang. This is almost as good as Boo Birds. I love this word. Nerfed. I think that's what they're looking for, but nerfed. When I first found out that it was a thing, oh my God, it was hilarious to me. So, quit hounding me could be, back off ain't gonna work. Maybe So we got a slash here. And mess around could be to horse around. So does that help? Maybe a Quentin Tarantino film role? This looks like maybe a cameo. If it's a cameo, this could be to lay off. Unhappy spectators. Oh, that's unfortunate. I love boo birds. Oh, we just got booers out of this one. How kind of funny. We were just talking about that. Boo birds and nerfed. I feel like Kareem might have made this grid just for me. Current measure. I think we're talking electricity, so maybe ampere. Super excited could be hyper. And started to boil. We got a cameo here, and then and once again, Christopher, asleep at the wheel, doesn't realize that he's at the end of the puzzle. Probably because Sundays are just so friggin' ginormous, and this one was a bit on the circuitous side. But thinking about that Trevi fountain, 5 backwards. So if you take 5 backwards, I'm going to go ahead and jump in and take a look at this. And so if I'm looking at Trevi fountain, so nickel back. Okay, so if the nickel is going backwards, buy one, get one free. Take a penny, leave a penny. Got it. Schooners and then hair extensions, and this would be turn on a dime. So hair extensions. Okay. Fabulous grid. Not bad at all. Kareem Ayas, well done. I saw nothing inelegant at all whatsoever. In fact, I'm scourging. I'm just going through it right now, left and right, trying to find some place where I can see inelegance, but there's not. There's not. It's none. This is fabulous. Very well done. Keep it up. Make all of these you want. And as always, out with the old and with the new. So I want to thank everybody for liking and subscribing. It's been absolutely fabulous again. And as always, my name is Christopher, and I'm delighted to have you here solving with me. It is such a pleasure. I just love seeing this community grow. Every morning, seeing new subscribers and seeing new comments makes my day. And so speaking of that, I've got some to answer right now. I'm very excited. I think I saw in an email heading that I heard from Sean. And I just automatically just put a Sean Connery accent to him. Yeah, that's right. My name is Sean. Well, he's the one who told me originally to get into Fargo and check it out. And I did, and I watched it the day before yesterday, and it was a fabulous movie. So learned an awful lot out of that. So can't wait to see what he had to say. But any of you, at any time, I really do appreciate hearing from you. So I think it's awesome. So until we see you again. Tomorrow for the New York Times grid, we'll have the New York Times mini crossword, and of course we'll have the Guardian. Ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Servus. Grüß Gott. Ciao. Cin-Cin. Be well out there and be good to yourselves. Be great to your friends and your neighbors, but be especially kind to the person behind you in line. Take care.